Today on All Out Brick, we're going to be taking a look at the Toa Ignika. We're going to build the set, review it, and then give out a score. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Christian from All Out Brick. Welcome to another Mata Nui Monday. As always, the best way to tag along with us every week is to subscribe and turn on notifications. This week, we're going to be building set 8697, the Toa Ignika, which was released as a part of the 2008 line of Bionicle. Following the sacrifice of our boy Matoro, rest in peace, the Mask of Life created a body for itself out of stray molecules. The lifeform dubbed itself the Toa Ignika and fought alongside the Toa in their quest to awaken Mata Nui. In this set, we see him paired with his skyboard, determined to become a hero. Taking a look at the packaging, on the front of the box we've got a nice blue-gray background, some caverns, some floating mountains, and of course the Toa Ignika front and center stage here, looking all powerful riding his skyboard. This really reminds me of the 2004 Titans, just the color scheme and how we have the model popping out. It's reminding me of those Titan sets. On the left side of the box we've got another image of the Toa Ignika riding his skyboard. It appears to be the exact same one that we get on the front of the box, and then we've got the Bionicle logo with the set name. And on the back of the box, we've got an enlarged image of the Mask of Life in the background, the Toa Ignika in the foreground with his skyboard in the background here. We've got one graphic that shows you how to fire off his blaster, and then at the bottom here, we've got a bunch of different images of the different Fantoka and Matoran. Essentially, this set gifts us an extra Toa with a small accessory, but hey, I won't complain about that. Will it be anything special? I don't know. Let's crush this build and find out. After 13 minutes, I've completed the Toa Ignika build and his skyboard. Pretty easy build, there's nothing too crazy at all. I mean, it's just a simple Toa, the skyboard. We're going to break this review up though into just reviewing the Toa, and then we'll review the skyboard, and then them together. So let's start off with the Toa Ignika. This is nothing special, it is just kind of another Toa, and to be quite honest, it almost feels like it's a little bit more bare than some of our other Toa. I mean, the color scheme's pretty cool. It reminds me of the shadowed one way back from our 2005 Titan combination models. So I like the color scheme. It just doesn't feel as grand as I thought it was going to be for the Toa Ignika. You know, this mask was hyped up so much, and the mask is a pretty nice mold. We've got some good detailing. I like the shape of it. It's not too big. It just feels not very prestigious, but it's a pretty good mask. It's nothing super memorable. I wish it was a little bit better, but hey, not going to complain with what we got. It's pretty good. He's got some beefed up armor in some areas across his body, especially those upper back area right on his rear shoulders. Pretty good armor pieces, and the same thing on his ankles, which we've seen in some of the other Toa so far in this 2008 line. Got some nice little ankle armor though. Fits it. I like the color, the silver there. Looks pretty nice. Speaking of that back, there is a slot here to slap an Matoran on the Toa Ignika. This feels like it's just a common thing. I don't know how I feel about it being on him. I mean, story-wise, it might make sense. I just feel like Toa Ignika, maybe make him a little bit more special. We could have really individualized him with maybe beefing up that back a little bit more, adding some more pieces, rather than focusing on, let's make sure we can slap an Matoran there. But hey, they were just trying to make it so that you could put it on every Toa in the set, I guess, or this line. The big play feature with the Toa Ignika is absolutely going to be that blaster. It's pretty fun. I was launching it a little bit. It wasn't as powerful as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but it shoots pretty good, and it's just a nice little flick fire. I'm not positive. I haven't looked at the Fantoka yet if this is what we're going to get, but I think it is. This is the first time I'm being introduced to it, though, so I mean, I was flicking it around a little. It was pretty fun. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more powerful. Nothing crazy though. Now moving on to the skyboard. It's a pretty nice build, really rigid, structurally sound. It's not going to break on you. There's not going to flap around or anything like that. It does remind me, and this is a good thing, it reminds me of those early Bionicle days. Think like the boat in Mata Nui Online Game 1. It really gives me that striking resemblance of these bigger pieces, and especially those armor pieces that were on Muwaka Kanera, just those larger Technic pieces they included here. I feel like we haven't gotten them in a long time, and so it just reminded me of those early days of Bionicle. Had a little bit of a flashback, so I do like the skyboard for that. It's simple, right to the point. However, I feel like it could have been done a little bit more. We've got these landing gears, and it sits up on an angle, and I almost feel like how we had with the Taka Nuva 2003 Titan set, I just feel like we're missing a function that brings those landing gears up and sends it into like a flight mode versus a landing mode, or even like a retractable back landing gear so it sits flat when you land on the ground would have been nice. It just feels like it's missing something and that it shouldn't be leaning up like this. That being said, still a pretty nice model. The one function that is included with the Skyboard is going to be those back flaps that can turn in and out. Nothing super special here. They I guess there's drag fins or something like that, but it's a little bit of an added feature, and I think it's nice that they kind of gave it that pivot option because they do stand very well in place. You're using Technic pins with friction, so they're going to stay there, and then if you flap them out, they'll also stay there as well. So it's a nice little thing, gives it a little bit more dimension, a little bit more variety if you're going to play with this model, but that's kind of only the function. That's the only function that's included in this Skyboard. I just think we could have gone a little bit further, but you get what you get. As we well know, we can combine them together. You can take the Toa Ignika and his feet snap into 2 locations on the Skyboard, and there you have it. You're going to have him standing on top. This is what we are shown on the front of the box. This is how the set's going to be advertised, and this is, I think, the best way the set's going to look. Duh. It looks nice. He's proportionally scaled well, I think, to the board. He doesn't look too big. He doesn't look too small. Looks just right. The legs aren't like too far apart. He's got a nice active athletic stance, if that makes sense, when he's standing on this board. He also can move him around quite a bit while he's on top of the Skyboard. It's not like you're locked in. We've had that happen a couple times with some sets like way back in the Bionicle line and throughout, that once you get them mounted onto their vehicle or something, you're kind of stuck like that. Doesn't really feel the case. Of course, there's going to be some limitations with that leg movement, but just based on the different pinholes that are in his feet, you can switch that up as well, and so you can maybe give yourself a little bit more movement there, but the arms and the waist, the head, everything, you're not really restricted in movement there, so that's really great to see for this set. Overall, the Toa Ignika is a nice set. I do like it. I like what it gives us. It's a cool model, cool Skyboard. It just doesn't feel like it's as grand as I thought it was going to be. I feel like we left a little bit on the table here, LEGO, with what could have been done. I feel like the Mask of Life has been so hyped up, and then finally, our guy Matoro goes and sacrifices himself, and it's like, we're going to get the Toa Ignika set, but I feel like it's a little lackluster in those regards, just because my hype for it was maybe a little bit too high, or maybe it wasn't a little bit too high, and it was a little bit, I don't want to say underwhelming, because it is a good set. I like the set. It's pretty nice. It just feels a little forgettable, and it feels like it should have been a little bit more for exactly what we're getting in this set. But when you take back a macro scale and you just look at the set, it's pretty nice. I would definitely classify this set as more of a collection completion item rather than something you should rush out and go get. I wouldn't really worry about it, especially when we dive into those prices, because if you want to get this thing in used condition, you're going to pay like $75 US, which frankly I think is a little bit overpriced, and you want to get this thing in brand new sealed condition, you're going to find yourself paying over $200 US for it, which is just too much. Unless you're putting together some good sealed collection and you want the Toa Ignika in there, I have absolutely no reason why you should buy this thing in brand new condition, other than like if you want to guarantee your joints are together. Once again, I had no problem with these joints, so far 2008, we're not running into those problems yet. I'm going to bite that that is going to come back and haunt me, I'm sure, at one point or another during this 2008 line, but so far it's been fine, so I don't see any reason why you should feel inclined to go get it brand new instead of used. Used, I think, is still a little bit overpriced at $75. I think for that price range, you could buy like some better sets, but it depends on what your interest is in Bionicle. I think if you're really into this line and this whole like battle sequence and everything in Mata Nui, okay, then maybe you could justify it. But I think when you just look at Bionicle as a whole, you can get some much better sets for $75 than this one. In terms of a score, I'm going to give the Toa Ignika a 6.8. Like I said, it's a nice set. I do like it. I just don't think it feels super memorable, or it doesn't live up to the hype that I had for it, and I think the hype that it should have had for it, given that this is our Mask of Life set. We are finally going to see it in action on our Toa. Matoro sacrifices himself, and I thought it was going to be a little bit grander. It is a nice set, though. It's just nothing that stands out for this line. It's just, again, it feels like more of a collection completion, and I think you have no problem if you want to focus on other sets from this 2008 line or other Bionicle sets in general. I feel like that's kind of how you should view this set, but it is nice. I do like it. So 6.8, that's your review. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to be the first to see all of our future content. Also, be sure to check us out on our website and on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Until next time, stay bricking.